All right, welcome back to Guildies podcast episode 7. I'm joined by my dear friends, Bear and Dylan. Bear and Dylan, say hi. There you go.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, look at that. Today we're starting a new segment, and we're gonna talk a little bit about how we're going to segment Guildies podcast in the future. But for now, this is a news segment. This is gaming news.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, you've looked for it. You say, geez, I can't find any podcasts out there that, oh man, I want to hear gaming news. I don't want to hear about COVID. Or I was listening to Lorehammer podcast, and it was sweet for like 2 episodes until I was like, I would like to hear about something else than Warhammer, because it's hard to follow. And when they do deep dives on stuff, it's like it's on characters I just don't know enough about and maybe care enough about. So I'm just like, this was sweet about the dinosaur guy.
I wouldn't really, no disrespect towards those people, but I don't think like jumping into something like that is like the best way to get into the series.
That is been made apparent to me.
From what I did listen, I don't know if you listened to the fantasy version or whatever versions they have, but
yes, it was the fantasy one because I'm extremely uninterested in.
That's fair.
40K, yeah.
I remember when I was listening to them, I was listening to the 40K one.
Oh, okay.
Because there's some things I'm still not really familiar with because there's about 1,000 fucking things for like one little thing in that universe.
Dude, it's insane. There's so much content.
But it's just they described it like they would like explain like something, and then they'd explain like a subcategory of that something, and then explain a subcategory of that subcategory before they going back to the main just display. It's just I don't think they do it very well. But I mean, it's also the case that describing that universe in any capacity is just impossible.
Well, and it suffers from the fact that there was never, because it's Games Workshop, right? Isn't who does it?
Yeah, Games Workshop.
They never like put a canon forth. Like novels came out, but the novels were not like the WoW books or the Star Wars books, like where they had someone doing canon stuff. It's a lot of it is like conflicting, and they're supposed to be different people's accounts, which is like the artistic way of being like, no one vetted these fucking books. So yeah, it's difficult. And it makes it really like a huge barrier of entry to get into the series.
Yeah,
but that's
it's a big beast once you like actually like find like a thing you're interested in. And I think if you are really interested in getting into it, this goes out to everyone listening. Choose a section of Warhammer you like and learn about that only. Like that.
Yeah, that's what everybody says, is that you like pick a faction that looks interesting and then just learn about that one and then go from there.
Because I think that's one good thing. Sorry to interrupt, but that's one good thing is that if you see something you like a faction, even if they're a small one, there's probably like 17,000 books on them already. So, but
that's
anyway.
True. And a lot of them are on Audible. Use code Guildies Podcast at checkout. Just kidding. Go on.
Sorry. I was gonna say, I think, or at least initially, I was thinking WoW kinda has a similar barrier, but I feel like there's enough. Like, they use a lot of the main characters enough that it's easier to get a hold of it. And, like, because if you start with just WoW, you could play the game for, like, 20 hours and not know who, like, major characters are.
Sure.
I mean, like, there's still, like, Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, but accessibility is kind of a hurdle for that, too.
But WoW, WoW is, like, you know how they talk about, this, you're learning new languages all the time. WoW, in my opinion, when I like first got into it as a kid, it was literally like learning another language and then going to that country because you're just in it. Like you're hit with different points of view of the story and the entire universe just by doing fucking stupid ass quests, and they name drop, and then you'll go to Mulgore, you'll go to Mulgore again.
But yeah, that's kind of. I think it's just like you have to be interested in it enough, and then by osmosis, you'll like get it eventually. Whereas like Warhammer, I'm like, I don't want to read about derivative fantasy.
Well, and there's too many I shouldn't say too many games, but it's like I mean,
The-
how many Warhammer games are there on Steam?
There's a
over 10,
lot,
I think.
but I think I mean, I think they're like they're a weird mix of there's games which were made when 2 pixels on a screen was considered a game, and then
True.
you got this like grace period of just fun games where maybe the lore and like all the story isn't really there, but stuff like the Dawn of War, Soulstorm series of games and stuff like that are really fun to play. And then you get like the newer, just they come out, they flop, and then they just do it again kind of games.
Yeah,
And the games never really give much insight.
Yeah,
to,
they have no problem doing that at all. There are so many Warhammer games that like don't do well, and they're like, get the next one going, wind her up.
Yeah,
Like Diablo clone one, like that one was like a immediate.
Yeah, that didn't do well.
Inquisition. That was. I
Hey,
liked it.
you know, whatever happened to that WoW killer that Amazon was putting out? I haven't heard anything about that in a while.
They were making a WoW killer.
I thought it was like a character shooter or something.
It was like an It was like an MMORPG action.
New Lands or something.
It got canceled.
They had like a beta out for it.
Yeah, and it got canceled. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember what it was called, but like it just died. They just scrapped
The
Yeah,
new world.
it's just done.
Or unless
Is it really just
it's either a different Amazon game if they were making two, but I know there was one like big project that had a beta that just got scrapped.
That's insane.
It might not be that because it's still scheduled for early 2021. It was delayed though.
Wow,
Like pretty heavily.
Yeah, funny.
killer.
If anybody's even gonna try it. Anymore.
Yeah, that's okay. So enough of your guys' meander in here. So what I was saying is, you want a gaming podcast, but you don't want to do Lorehammer all the time. I don't know any other ones because I didn't look that hard, and actually probably should have. But we're gonna do gaming news here on the Guildies podcast. Yeah, we'll have like a silly like CNN like but it like intro thing. It's gonna be very, very good. So yeah, Guildies news, Guildies gaming news. We're working on the title. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, that was awfully rude. But I'm gonna jump right into it today. Enough with the introductions. I'll give you our first article. Resident Evil 4 Remake is being redone and delayed. Officially.
I heard about this from like Maximilian, who's like the YouTuber dude.
Really?
Yeah, I mean I heard it slightly. He did like a small video on it. And
So,
I mean
I'll explain what it is for all the viewers at home. The team that was working on Resident Evil 4 had decided that they wanted to be really true to Resident Evil 4. They wanted to make it pretty close to how it was, but a little bit more than an HD remake. The Division 1 Capcom team, which is like the people who work on the main series titles and all the big flagship Capcom games, have stepped in and decided that the game will take a similar path to the remake of 2 and the remake of 3. I don't know what I think of that because 2 was an absolute bona fide masterpiece, but 3, even in the article, it talks about how 3 really did not. It did well, it sold, but people weren't happy with it.
Yeah, that's hard to say how I feel. Like as you said, it's like I can't think of like another game that has such a big dispersion of they nailed the game prior, but then the next game, while it was still okay, it was just not even really comparable. It's just
I think it just they were trying to capitalize on the success and like people were clamoring for it, so it just probably just came out too soon.
That could be.
From what I gather, I don't remember what the main criticism of the 3 remake was. Was it just that it was too linear, or that
I think it was like linear, super short, and there was like a lot of segments cut out of the game that really just made the game like it contributed to the linear and the time.
They also boasted like a really rich like hunting system for Nemesis to do. and it was not rich. It was very much on rails. There was like 2 parts where he can come through on stuff, but most of it was, basically like a linear version of what 3 was. And the original 3 was pretty fucking scary.
Yeah. Well, because he just all of a sudden explodes out of a window.
Yeah, not very not poggers. So I'm concerned about how 4 is gonna turn out.
I think if they're reworking it and taking extra time, I have high hopes for it.
Yeah, well, because
although I won't fall for that. Just because it's being delayed means it's going to be a better game. That is a lie.
Well, what do you mean, Bear? Is there some kind of example we had recently where where an extremely delayed game yielded extremely poor results?
Also, I think it has to be poetic, and it has to get delayed 3-4 times like the original Resident Evil 4 was.
True. Yeah.
I was reading on the Wikipedia because spoiler, we're going to be playing through it for a future podcast. But I was reading through the Wikipedia page. It went through 3 prior versions and 3 different head creatives before they finally settled on what they wanted to do.
Well, yeah, there's even gameplay demos that were at E3 several different years that are all different.
Yeah.
Now
Japanese developers, man.
Well, and we've said it before here on the podcast, dude. Capcom has made some of my favorite games ever. They've just done it almost decades apart.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried that they're trying to change Resident Evil 4 because it doesn't need. Could you silence?
Yeah, what the fuck?
The ringer. Anyway,
I don't have an issue with it being changed. It's just that if it does what it did to 3 and what's happening with the newest ones, because that is something I want to talk about here in a second, I will be very unhappy with it. If they half-ass the shit out of this game but just take extra long and then slap the COVID sad face on it, I'm gonna be pretty bummed.
Watch it come out and it's a giant mess. Everyone's mad, but then you get there's reports coming from where is Capcom based? It's in Japan, right? They've got a Japan office.
Yeah.
It's rowdy American standing outside of Capcom doors. It's Hayden himself.
Yeah, it's us 3. We get tickets to go to Japan with all our Patreon subscribers, and we're just standing outside of Capcom's headquarters. Everyone has Tauren masks on.
It's anonymous or V for Vendetta, but it's just a Tauren.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We all have drums.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and Toto, the giant Okay, so hold on. Can we talk about something really quick in this just brief aside? In the books, they describe Bane as having a really big mace, but in the games, he literally has a log strapped to his back.
It's a blunt weapon.
It is right, but it's not a mace. It's literally a painted log.
Well, if you think about it, there's that Dead Mines drop from the Murloc boss in that I think it's considered a mace, but you get a rolling pin.
True.
And that's considered a mace.
That's true. That's true. There's a lot of that kind of shit.
There's canon justification for it.
That's fair.
A rolling pin.
Yeah. Okay, so that brings me to my next news item. Also in the news. We can get Keemstar on here. We're not going to. That'd be a bad idea.
Please.
Did you guys watch the Resident Evil Village trailer?
I did. I watched that. I watched the whole this is what's coming.
The whole series of them.
Yeah.
I am halfway excited.
I'm fairly excited. Honestly.
The setting is much better. It looks genuinely scary, and it looks like it's more actual combat. And not just an on-rails cutscene grinder.
It looks to me, and I mean this in a good way, because I guess it's I guess it depends on the fan base of Resident Evil if they the third person or first person. But it just looks to me, it looks like Resident Evil 7 or 8. Is it 7 or 8? Which one was the
7? 7 is the Louisiana Bayou one.
Louisiana. Yeah, it looked like 7 just slapped into 4's world.
Yes, that is what I was gonna. That's
It's-
what I think they're going for. Is like
Mm.
the scary Spanish village thing that they did with 4.
And I do like it. It's cool. I like the things they introduced with like they introduced obviously the big tall titty woman.
Yep.
The
Yep.
castle area looks really cool. The weird friggin' scythe having guy with the weird glasses looks cool. The merchant guy is hilarious.
Yeah.
I like everything I saw in it was cool. I wasn't.
I
There's some other
really,
things in there, but
I really want it to do well because the thing that I didn't like about 7 is that they basically touched on like supernatural stuff and then was like, oh, but it was drugs the whole time, which is super fucking lazy. In my mind, like going through all this dumbass like hallucination stuff for literally the entire fucking game. And then
Wasn't
it just,
that-
what'd you say?
Wasn't that like the whole like last chapter essentially of 7 was like all the ship stuff?
Right.
That was.
I forgot about all that
But
shit.
a lot of the stuff happening in it is just supposed to be like drug induced hallucination.
That's stupid.
Well, right, because it looked supernatural, and you're like, Jesus Christ, dude, they are not about to ruin this fucking series. And then it was like the twist at the end, but the twist was like, okay, we didn't actually ruin it, but we just made you think we were ruining it for 10 hours. And you're like, well, that's bad. But I hope what they do with this is actually give me gameplay, because that was the worst part about 7. It just wasn't fun to play.
It was like I'll say I haven't really played 7. I think I played it for a little bit at one point, but I don't think the like moving around the place and everything is bad. I think that's cool. It's a bit more like you can look at stuff a bit more better, but
Sure.
the combat was very much it really felt like an oversight. It felt like a we need something to say this is Resident Evil kind of, you know?
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's just make it so you block by putting your hands up or bang and shoot them. It's just-
Yeah, and like everything was a bullet sponge. There was like not a
Yeah.
lot of like skill to how you're doing it. It was.
It-
I didn't care for it. I thought it was very disappointing. Dylan, did you play 7?
No, like I don't know. Like it just kind of I think maybe it's the first person thing and that it's all original stuff. Like I think like there's a lot of like good spooky stuff in it,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time like the gameplay just kind of looks like not great.
Yeah.
Like cuz I think like the problem is it looks based on what you're describing and what I've seen, it sounds like you're trying to cram a bad combat system in like Amnesia. Like maybe 7
Or
was
like Outlast. Like it was like Outlast, but like pretending there's a combat system in Outlast, which like there kind of wasn't. Like there was, but
Was there?
I mean, you could like interact in.
right.
It's not a combat system, is it?
Well, would you consider 7's a combat system?
It should have. I guess they should have just de-emphasized combat. Like,
Sure.
maybe to defend yourself in like a last minute, like last resort kind of thing.
Right.
Mm.
Because that's what like kind of is one of the ways you can really play a lot of the Resident Evils. Is like you're just kind of meant to just run past a lot of the enemies. And not
Right. Yeah.
even
In the first few, yeah, you're not meant to kill every single enemy.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's good. The setting looks better, and I was always kind of bummed out with that in 7 because I felt like it just could have been scarier. Like there were uncomfortable parts and there were like gross parts, but like I never had like a really bad creeping sense of dread, and the characters were almost comical, which
Yeah.
in 4, which is the one I like to use as like the great blend of like gameplay and story, it put them together in a way where it was like the characters are all kind of like action movie-y. Like Leon's got his stupid ass lines, and then all the bad guys have their stupid ass lines, but you believe that they were bad guy, or they were like, you know, not evil, but they were like the bad guy. You could believe that they're an antagonist. Whereas, like, when you meet the family, you're like, this is the fucking dumbest hillbilly bullshit I have ever seen.
It was not.
It just like wasn't. It was like, oh man, I went to my hometown. This is really scary.
I think the only like real horror elements, well, not horror, I guess, just like spooky kind of stuff was like, it wasn't even a majority of the game. Like the only parts really was, I don't know if you remember, Hayden, but it's like the segments with when either you're playing as Mia and you're running from the bug lady or anything with the bug lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that those were like the only segments I can recall or like even feel a bit of like, yo, this is kind of spooky, bro.
Right.
Whereas the rest was just really felt like it was like a de-spookified Outlast with like sloppy shooting mechanics.
Well, and
Yeah.
the worst parts for me, and I streamed most of the game. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I watched a lot of that stream. Yeah.
You did.
The boss fights were so fucking unbearable. There was no clear, like, you did this. Things seemed to happen by chance, and like if you didn't have enough, like if you weren't standing in the right spot or do this, or some of them you're like supposed to take damage. Like what I hate in a boss fight is like scheduled damage. Like you're supposed to go down to this amount of health and take this many hits, and then it goes to the next thing. It's like, well, that's not a boss fight. That's a cutscene.
Yeah.
And this is really fucking pointless. Or like you're only supposed to take this much damage at this point, but if you take too much damage too soon, you die. And it's like, well, that also is just a cutscene that's not properly working.
And, like a lot of JRPGs are guilty of that too, like because you'll get hit with like a really strong spell that like gets all your guys to like almost dead, and you can't tell if that's like you're supposed to lose this fight or if you like have to waste all your items on
Right.
because that's just like it feels really bad like for that to happen, because it's like, well, like I can't tell, like am I supposed to lose
Yeah,
this?
am I supposed
like,
to
I don't
get
wanna-
my ass whooped?
like- right, like I don't want to burn all my best shit if I'm just gonna like if I'm supposed to die anyway. But
Do they have a release date for the game? I didn't look.
yeah, it's
It's
May 8th, I think.
7th or 8th of May.
Yeah,
That's good.
I think 7th is right.
Not far. Not far at all.
What I really dread and what I'm ready to die on the hill for is like if we start coming out of the pandemic and games start coming out and people just are like, it was COVID. Listen.
Oh, as an excuse
Yeah,
for why it's rushed.
listen.
and
Can't use that one anymore. Can't do it anymore. You've had a lot of time to adapt, and we all got back to work. I'm at work. Dylan's at work. Everyone's at work. That's it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to upset me. Okay, moving on. Valve is working on some new games right now.
I heard
the large Biggest himself said that there are currently some games internally being worked on at Valve. Now, Valve has worked on games for a long, long time, and a lot of them get scrapped or come out as scrap, like Artifact. But
remember when? Sorry, not to get too far off subject. But remember when Twitch got the artifact section was just exploding with pornography, live streaming movies? It was such a shit fest, dude.
That was awesome. I miss that.
Dude.
You know, they've always done this, but it's exciting to see them work on more stuff. And I think with Half-Life Alyx actually happening, that they may actually make some fucking games. He said he's interested in doing some single player ones. So
And hopefully not fucking VR. So
yeah, I don't.
From what I heard, though, the Alex game was supposed to be really good. Like,
it is.
It is.
like
I think
a
it
game
is.
that actually utilizes the
Sure.
VR well.
Yeah, it looks.
However-
yeah, go on.
The game can be utilizing VR well. It can be amazing. It can be this and that. But I don't want to buy like a $400 piece of gear to play this one game because there's one game in the entire like market, or maybe two that's good for it.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't think I think until you get VR costs down low enough, I just don't think it's gonna be. I think most people will avoid it. Like a lot of people heard Half-Life Alyx is good, but can you tell me anyone you know who actually played it who's not a trust fund kid?
Or a fucking YouTuber or a streamer.
Yeah, like do you actually know anyone who played Half-Life Alyx?
We have our one friend Eden who has played it, and he's employed.
Right, but he's like artsy and the whole.
So
That's
I
like
would
what
take
he
his,
would buy.
his opinion more valid, and not somebody who buys the most epic game.
Right.
I just think the whole crowd, in fact, because there's a massive crowd that just say it's like thinking VR is this like overly expensive piece of hardware that everyone can't get is just a lie, and they think it's like it's a super obtainable and everyone should have one. There's no reason not to, and if you're complaining, you're just poor. I just want to say the crowd's stupid, but I think VR.
That would be Reddit. You can just say it. You can just call
I
them
think-
out. That's Reddit.
Yeah, fuck you, Reddit.
Yeah, this
But,
is our
Anti-Reddit.
yeah, our anti-Reddit segment that happens in every episode. Fuck you, man. You suck ass. I was on Reddit today and I was like, God damn, this sucks. And then I was on the WoW Reddit today and I'm like, I can't. There was one good post out of like everything that was on the hot tab today, and everything else was like either like great artwork, which doesn't even count because those people just want exposure. They're not Redditors, they're actual people. And the rest of it was just Redditors crying about pick anything about WoW. I can't.
It's a little bit of Reddit.
Fuck you, Reddit. But yeah, VR. I don't know. I would like to try it. I tried the Samsung VR thing when it first came out when I was working at Best Buy because we had one. That was like 2014. So the technology's obviously changed, but it was like an ocean thing. I don't know. The Samsung booth had like an ocean. It wasn't even like a game. It was like an experience thing. Remember they were doing that like experience nature, experience blah blah blah. Anyways, it was like an ocean thing, and you're going through like the Arctic, and there was like icebergs. And then you look down, and it's just black, and I like threw up. I was like, this is the scariest thing because there's like fish that would swim under, and then like seals and like orcas and shit. And I'm like, no man, come on, I can't see the bottom.
We should just nuke the ocean. Like, I hate that place.
We're working on it. We're trying that. We've been
Get your gun and just shoot in the water.
Yeah. That's a yeah. I like that idea. I'm gonna come to Australia and we're gonna fuck the Great Barrier Reef. What did it ever do for me?
We've got to be careful with that because if the government catches you shooting the Great Barrier Reef,
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty sure they're gonna like.
It will start a war.
I got diplomatic immunity. You can't do nothing to me.
Yeah, you say that to the kangaroos that roll around. Like,
I got I'm shooting at the Great Barrier Reef. I turn around, it's just like World War Z kangaroos lined up on the beach.
It's like the Matrix scene. It's just, but all this like Agent Smith, the kangaroos.
Yeah, they all have like suits on. Yeah, it'd be pretty good. Dude, I just gotta say, what a great job you did on the thumbnail for the WoW book club one. Dude, that was great. That was super good.
Dude, the tuxedo on like Velen, I think is my favorite. Like he looks like a mob boss. He's like,
yeah, dude, that one's amazing. And the fucking Vol'jin with his mustache and top hat, dude. Killed me.
Dude.
Velen looks like Chris does in Resident Evil Village.
Yeah, right, yeah. That's right.
Dude.
Just a wide man.
He's gigantic. Next in the news, Neil Druckmann says he's interested in making a Punisher the superhero game.
Is the Punisher gonna have sex with another man though?
Okay.
But it's a self-insert.
Does Punisher have a dick?
Why wouldn't he? Just the guy.
Oh, is he just a guy? I don't know anything about that. I thought he was like a mutant or something.
No, Punisher is just a sad man.
Oh.
Yeah,
he's just a vigilante is all he is.
He's one of those like anti-heroes, I think, isn't he? Like,
So we didn't answer does he have a dick?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. There could be gay porn in there then, Bear.
I don't know that. I think like knowing Neil's recent game, I should say, like I just don't think I wouldn't trust him with anything.
Yeah, game of the year by the way.
Yeah. rigged, by the way.
You know what? I watched Moon play through Last of Us 2. And
Bad.
I actually thought I thought it was fine. He looked like he was having a good time. The story was fine. It was a single player action RPG.
Yeah.
Okay. And when it came out, I said, I know it got a lot of hate for all the stuff it was coming up on and the whole thing. It was fine. It looked like a 7 out of 10, like PS, like Sony single player. You know the genre, the game that it is.
Yeah, the Sony genre.
There is no fucking the Sony genre. There is no way that game is Game of the Year material. That is where my defense stops. There is absolutely no way out of all the games that came out, that is the game. I do not believe it.
There's like just so much. It's
Game of the Year is just kind of a dumb concept, really.
It is a dumb concept, but if you are going to give it to a game of the year, you don't give it to a game that clearly has not the best. Well, it's like it does. The fans, like even so, like a good chunk of the fans didn't like it.
It seemed like a lot of people who liked the first one and who aren't like gamer Americans who hate it for gamer reasons, like they liked it, but they had like legit criticisms of like, well, they didn't do XYZ right, or like quite but it was like there was some legit criticism.
Yeah.
But then like it just got fraught with so many like upset gamer Americans.
I don't know if this, because you're right. The idea of a Game of the Year is maybe kind of reductive, but you could make an educated guess on it. You're like, what's great? That's also in the news, which probably is a little more recent than, or a little less recent than I'm saying, but Red Dead Redemption got the Steam Awards Game of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2, because it came out on PC in 2020. Sure. Absolutely. If that's...
Wait, did it get like...
It got like the Game of the Year on Steam. The Steam voting one.
Okay, I'm curious. I don't think that is not the topic at hand.
Wait, what do you... The what?
I don't think it's Game of the Year. Like...
No, but I could see why a community who really loved that game would... Like, I understand Red Dead 2 getting Game of the Year more than I do Last of Us 2. That was my point, is that it?
Yeah.
A lot more people, I think, had a very, like an emotional connection to Red Dead 2. Like, they were very affected by the story. I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. But a lot of people... Like, I've seen people make posts about how...
I know the story is really good.
Yeah, I thought it was very good. And the engine is... I mean, it's a Rockstar engine. It fucks, dude. It fucks so hard.
That engine is insane. Like, it's like... It runs, like, stupidly well for what it does. And, like, it's just... Like, goddamn, dude. What? Like, a fucking engine.
Yeah, it fucks. I said it. It's so... the time we played... It was amazing. That's some of the best gaming I've had in years.
I remember there was this one moment, and but we were running around. We were like kind of just searching, just playing around, doing some bounties and stuff, and we came back into like a lobby from the loading screen. And do you remember those runs, Hayden, that you do that like you'd have to carry a wagon from A to B?
Yeah.
But between A to B, anyone could steal the wagon.
Oh yeah, the moonshiner one. Yeah.
It was something like that. It was like the skins or whatever.
Oh, you're right. It was like a supplies thing. Yeah.
We came out of it, and there was like someone doing the wagon thing right near us, right? And we're like, let's be bandits. So we put on the masks you can get. We tipped our hats and we rode after them. And like we kind of like slowly approached them, and they told us to go away or like step back. And Hayden put on his cowboy accent, and he's like, "How to partners" and stuff like that. It was a good time. And we were about to kill them, but what happened was a hacker came, right? And
I remember the one you're talking about.
He flew in, and he landed, and before he did anything, he might have like fucked something or something. I think he blew up the wagon.
Yeah.
Because in the end, we split the guys gave us some of the resources. Because
he blew up the wagon, and we just pilfered like 2 of the bags, threw them on the horses, and just fucking took off.
But it's so with how the hacking works. Obviously, he just like throws dynamite and stuff. But the engine, I guess there's no hack for it, but they can't stop people tackling hackers, right? So I remember I ran up to him, I tackled him, and I'm just screaming at him as I'm pummeling him in the face. He's not losing health, mind you, but he's a hacker and he's like throwing explosives around. He's like instantly like fucking headshotting people, but you tackle him. And he's just there on the ground, and you're beating his fucking skull in. And it's just, dude, it's like, and everyone was screaming. The guys are running off. Hayden was fucking dead and respawning and running back. Dude, it was such an experience. I was like, what the fuck is this game?
and that's my thing, where it's like, I understand why someone would want that, and it's the same thing I always talk about, why like that right there is why I love a game. I don't care what your fucking cheesy ass dialogue and story is. Like, if I can have those experiences with my friends, that's worth $60. It's worth way more than $60.
But didn't you cry when Aerith died?
Who?
Aerith from Final Fantasy VII.
I
was just saying that because Hayden, because he was saying that he doesn't like the melodrama of a game and he'd rather just have the multiplayer experience.
I didn't cry. I don't. I cried when Ty killed himself in Gears. I watched the Maria scene in Gears 2 recently and actually shed a little tear. It was pretty sad.
Bruh.
Dude, he fucking finds his like dead wife. I don't know what to tell you. That's sad. I don't know. That's compelling gamer emotion.
Gears definitely do be kind of hitting different.
Sure does. Except for 5 and 4. That didn't turn out.
Also, not to go back again, but it's just the memories are going back to me slightly. Remember the time we were playing with Caribou as well, and we just finished a delivery, and we were in the middle of buttfuck nowhere next to a cliff near a train station, and you couldn't get on your friend's horses, but you can lead them. And you kept pulling the horses off the cliff.
I forgot we played with Caribou. Yeah, it was really good.
Oh, sorry. Anyway.
No, it's good. Okay, next. Next up on our news list. And this one is the final one that I have. Hopefully you fellas have some content, or otherwise what am I paying you for? Bethesda and Netflix are working on an Elder Scrolls TV series.
Ugh, Netflix is working on everything serious.
That could only be bad.
Yeah, I didn't read any details on it. I don't think there were any for when it's set, but
it's my stance on like Netflix adaptations from video games or popular media is that they can nail it really good. Like, I think The Witcher is amazing.
It's that like was really good.
The casting, like for Henry Cavill, because it was a smart move to incorporate people who read the fucking books as well as played the games, which is an amazing trait. And I think it did a really good job. There's a few casting choices I would have disagreed with, but and I mean, for the most part, it was good. But at the same time, I don't trust Netflix to do anything good. Like, there's just so much, like, it's Netflix, you know. It's like not. It's just.
Well,
I believe they can be good, but I think they can really easily fuck stuff up for the sakes of making it too, like, I don't know, just shit. It's just they modify it to their own terms.
Well, right.
You know?
Well, and I think sometimes Netflix absolutely gets it right. And the great thing about Netflix is when they get it right really hard, because they have what some might call an unlimited amount of money.
True.
So they can pretty much make anything happen. It's just who's at the helm of like what's being made. My concern with an Elder Scrolls series would be the time to start the extended Elder Scrolls universe is not 2021.
Yeah, that ship sailed.
Yeah, that ship sailed like Morrowind would have been a great time to be like, okay, what, 2001? 2000?
2003, I think.
That could be right, because that wasn't Oblivion in development for like 5 years,
2002.
2002. Would have been then. Like, do that and then write supporting media. But now you've gone through, what? 3... So you did original, Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, and then the fucking MMORPG.
And a Redguard.
And
Battlespire.
Yeah, which were those those weren't expansion? I don't know the timeline.
Those were spin-off games from like the 90s.
Oh,
and
right.
Redguard being a third-person action game where it's like a pre-made character.
Yes, I do recall.
God.
But my issue is, where are they going to pick up? Like, ideally, just for me, like, the Morrowind era would be fine. The Oblivion era would be fine.
I think the Skyrim.
Anything but Skyrim.
Yeah.
Really? I don't know.
Oh, dude, please no. I think that's such. Yeah.
Before, not that we have our start our Elder Scrolls episode yet, but I think Skyrim, like, say what you will about like all the dumbing down stuff or the shitty quests, I think just the aesthetic of Skyrim set a really bad precedent, and the games have been ugly ever since. Like, it's way too like dark, and like I feel like it has affected the tone of the games too.
Yeah, because Oblivion it was touching on like not high fantasy, but like mid fantasy. Like it felt very, and obviously the graphics, there's a big difference in what you could do in 2005 or 6 and what you could do in 2011. But Oblivion just had a lot of character to it in my mind. When you talk about the cities and the spells and the characters and just the environments, I just feel like a Skyrim one would be. I'm just watching Game of Thrones. I feel like if they made a Skyrim Elder Scrolls thing, it would just be It would literally be Game of Thrones, and then the dragons come like season 7. You're like, oh, dude, is that Alduin? And they're like, no, it's not Alduin. We rewrote it. His name's Jennifer now, so that's Jennifer the dragon.
Well, the problem is too it's like, who are you gonna have for characters? It's just Uriel Septim and a bunch of nobodies.
That'd be
probably.
Sweet. That'd be awesome.
Or like,
and
or
Joffrey
maybe if they did
Martin and
if they did specifically Oblivion, which I doubt they do, it'd just be like maybe like MMO content or something.
That is my other concern, is that the story that we get in the games and then what they've done in the MMORPG, I'm pretty sure conflict on a bunch of parts, which
every game conflicts with each other.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because there's no set canon, which is the issue that I feel like this entire premise has, is like, well, it'd be like if they made a fucking Warhammer movie. Like, what was that?
The idea of that just fucking
yeah,
pisses me off.
Yeah, right. And that's how I feel about the Elder Scrolls one. Like, sure, you could, if you picked an established event that happened, like the Oblivion Crisis, would be so cool. I bet you're gonna make one up that conflicts with everything, or you're gonna pick one from the new MMO so that you have like a crossover between MMO fans and who would be in like that. In fact, that's what's gonna happen. That's anyone with two. They're gonna take whatever the most recent story is and whatever established story they have in Elder Scrolls Online and just like dump it into a film adaptation. So get ready for that.
Since you said the Game of Thrones thing, that's all I can imagine series being, is some weird adaptation of that. Like, if they go the MMO route and they follow that kind of stuff, you're gonna have the 3 factions with all different races in each other faction. If they take the Skyrim route, it'll be literally the Civil War. It's just the Oblivion Crisis. It just seems like the right choice.
Yeah.
Well, because the thing that's just kind of fraught with that idea of just having an Elder Scrolls game is because like your show is that like the story is built around an original player character who fulfills a vague prophecy. Because in Morrowind, it's the Nerevarine, who like is kind of has like a canonical like race, but it still could also be anything.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing for like the Champion of Cyrodiil and like the Dovahkiin. So like who would you even have as a main character? Like, because otherwise it'd be like maybe political intrigue, but I don't know if it would have like enough flavor to say that this is distinctly Elder Scrolls
Right.
as well. Like,
Well,
that'd be another problem.
yeah. Well, and I think another one stacking on top of that, and kind of like I said with the Game of Thrones thing, like if they did Skyrim, which still is the best-selling Elder Scrolls game, I guess.
And will continue to be.
Yeah, and will continue to be for the as
Incredibly.
long as they're making refrigerators. That game's gonna be #1, baby.
Well, the games already have like a PS5 and Xbox One
do
X.
they? Do they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. Like, I'm pretty sure they do.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What was really nice about Oblivion is that there was so many like cultural ideas slammed into one ish.
Yeah.
Whereas Skyrim is literally just like Nordic everything. Everything is Nordic. Everything. The Imperials like are like vaguely trying to like modernize or like be like Greek or Romanized, but it's mostly just like Nordic. And
Yeah.
that is like low fantasy. like barbarism in Europe and then like into like Scandinavia is just like the actual setting for low fantasy. I mean,
Well,
it
and-
is. That's just...
And the thing is, like, nobody gives a shit about the main plot for the fucking Elder Scrolls games. Like, the reasons that people like them, like, what are the best quests? Oh, it's either weird little oddity stories or it's, like, the guild quests. Like, how are they gonna cover, like, 4 different, like, guilds?
Yeah, we doing the Fighters Guild season 1 and then
Yeah.
Mages Guild season 2. What's the matter, Barrett? Come on. No, what's the Fighters Guild in Skyrim? They're werewolves. What are they called?
Companions.
Yeah.
Companions.
Oh, Companions season 1. Ooh, werewolves. Ooh, vampires. Ooh. Ooh.
It's like supernatural.
Oh, dude.
Eee.
It just seems like a bad idea. And we'll have to watch it, but it just seems like a really
can't
bad
wait.
idea.
I went to discuss the Elder Scrolls Netflix show with my friend.
Ah, dude, I don't know. Why don't I can't. Y'all making me so upset.
I'll make me so upset.
The other thing I was gonna cover on here and I didn't, and we'll move on from Elder Scrolls because we've beat that Khajiit to death. If you know what I mean.
No more wares to be sold.
Yeah, no more wares to be sold because I stomped out the last spark of life he had.
Large
Yeah.
A large quantity of wares never sold.
Yeah, but they're now mine and the drugs. EA, while being prodded with what I imagine was a cattle prod, made Star Wars Battlefront 2 free on Epic for a while.
Ooh, yes.
That was a Disney move, by the way, because of how insanely poorly EA has done with the IP. Disney was like, "You're going to make it free for however long on the Epic Store," and so they worked out their little deal. You know how many people claimed the game?
Dude, yeah, I saw this. It was insane. Dude.
19 million people claimed Star Wars
Jesus.
Battlefront 2 for free, which means this game that had been like slowly trailing off in popularity literally just got like a gigantic release tier boost in player numbers.
More than they ever would have sold.
Yeah, very cool. I like the game. I bought it when it came out and had a lot of fun with it, and I'm having fun with it now with my friends. Me and Bear played it a bunch. I played it with my friends from work. They're all not gamers, so it has been painful there. But when I played it with Bear, it was very good. I like the game a lot. I know it's blasphemous to give EA any kind of credit, but they actually made a very fun game.
Sometimes they make a good game, other times they don't, or they'll make a good game and then like extort you and try to make you buy every little thing.
It's true.
I do hope. I know. They've cut support for it now because it's they're working on the new Battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope they just like continue to just at least drip feed it some content here and there because it's like man.
I'm sure it'll get the reason that I think it'll still get anything is that with there being no new actual Star Wars movies coming out for what, another 2 years?
But they could still do a lot of Mandalorian shit
Well,
and
right.
capitalize off of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the new. It seems like the new format they're going with. It's just like shows.
Just yeah, and milk
Yeah.
the shit out of the
Which-
Mandalorian.
Which honestly,
and Obi-Wan and all that coming out.
I think is the better idea.
I agree with how Mandalorian did.
Mhm.
I think Mandalorian is some of the best Star Wars media.
For sure.
Like it's insane.
Yeah, well, and I just
Obviously you hate
well, I think you can develop a character and like an actual story, whereas like it doesn't have to be like a. And I'm not saying that the Star Wars movies were rushed and not well thought out, but some definitely were. Exactly what I just like. Episode 7 is so bad. Episode 7 is. I haven't. Here's the thing. Episode 7 was unbelievably bad. Rogue One was fine, I guess. I mean, it was pretty lukewarm. Solo was probably better than that. I thought it was pretty good. It was a decent origin
I felt
story.
yeah. I mean, I know people hated it quite a bit. I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. It was like a Star Wars popcorn flick. I thought it was fine. I actually liked 8 a lot. I thought The Last Jedi was actually like a little bit of like sanity
Better.
in the new trilogy. But I heard 9 was just unbelievably bad. Like unbelievably just
9
unhinged
is
bad.
like. Dude.
I think just nobody like it wasn't causing riots like across the board, but everybody I've ever heard just say that 9 was just kind of bad and like it wasn't satisfying for anyone. Like you got your answers, but at what cost?
Yeah, I've won, but at what cost? But I feel like an actual like series would alleviate some of the like trying to deliver on like huge world building. Like I'm not sure what we expected out of J.J. Abrams.
Nothing.
Yeah, I pray every morning when I wake up that he no longer has he gets like Me Too'd or something, so I don't have to watch him put out
Hell yeah.
shitty ass movies. Because he isn't god awful fucking director. He is just the fucking
really
worst.
bad.
But he did have a lot of pressure to put together a brand new premise that involves the entire fucking galaxy and the fate thereof, and then put it together. Now, do I think he did an absolutely horrible job? Yeah, I do. There's no excuse. You could have done better. But having smaller scale series just feels better. Not everything has to be a grand adventure.
Yeah. It's yeah. I'm excited for the new ones. I think like there's just so much stuff they can do with them. I'm just
They've done a great job. Go on.
Because that's the thing with like Star Wars is like, okay, you created a cool universe, but you're basing it around like one family and like just like 5 characters within the fucking Skywalker family who aren't like great characters. A bunch of them, or like I should just say some of them.
Yeah.
But
probably most of them.
but it's just like
they're all
they don't
just
do
like
anything.
Well, yeah, they're all just like stunted, like emotionally stunted aspies. Like every single one of them. Like Anakin was because he was a slave, and then Luke is just like the retarded, like Myrtle Beach Confederate flag. He's just a hick in a hick planet and a hick part of the galaxy. And he's just like this like blank like slate of a person who gets like miraculously injected with personality in the second and third movie.
doesn't make that with his sister.
Yeah. Driving home that Myrtle Beach thing with the Confederate flag. But I mean, yeah, all the Skywalkers. I mean, the coolest.
And then Rey, fucking
all the best parts of Star Wars are not the fucking Skywalkers at all.
Yeah.
Hello,
Right.
Mr. Bobo and Django.
Yeah,
Right.
Robert and young Fett, Robert, young
young
Fett.
Eddie.
Yeah.
Dude.
I I think that's great. I think they're gonna do a great job with it. And I have read 2 of the Disney books that have come out since the merger.
Yeah.
And they're very good. Very, very good. Master and Apprentice, which you also read part of, is you know what? I'm bummed that they decanonized a lot of pretty much everything. Pretty much all the Star Wars I actually care about. They were like, nope, nope, not canon anymore. That's a legend, idiot.
Yeah.
But I thought they were going to really fuck it up when they started writing books because they fucked it up when they started doing the movies. And they didn't. They did a great job. I have got nothing but good things to say about that. And Disney don't want to lose no money, buddy. They know what they're doing.
Money.
I bet the Boba Fett one's going to be so sweet, dude.
I'm excited for the Boba Fett series, the Book of Boba.
I think Mandalorian's just really good because, like I was saying, like there's a lot that you could do, but it's just like, yeah, sure, we'll make a bounty hunter cowboy who has to do with a lone wolf and cub, like in space, and it's like, sure, that's cool. Not this fucking family, like the most powerful people in the universe, constantly. Like, just have like a small scale story for once.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's.
I also think the No, can you go on? Go on, actually.
Now you go on, mate.
No.
I get tired of the grand adventure thing because you can, it'd be one thing if all 9 of these movies led up to like something really big, and it did, and it was bad. Like it led up to the big reveal in 9, and fucking you're just like, Jesus Christ, dude, seriously? Is that the best we have going on? Is that the build up that I got to see Anakin like do his whole thing, and then have his kids, and then this is it? I'm sorry. But with the small one, it's like, I don't know, like they're gonna cat Baby Yoda, like, cool. That's dramatic. He's gone now.
Guys from Breaking Bad, and they're trying to kill Baby Yoda with a giant like Darksaber. It's cool as hell.
What'd you say?
Oh, I forgot. Have you seen the Mandalorian?
Yeah,
I haven't seen the newest one.
Oh yeah.
Right. Have you not seen season 1?
I've seen part of season 1.
Hey,
you should finish season 1.
I've
only watched like the first episode of season 2 and like half of the second one.
Good. Season 2 really, really good.
Are they done like putting them out incrementally?
They're
I think
done.
Season 2 is done.
It's done. Okay,
Yeah.
That was what I was waiting for because I want to get like I want to get a 30-day trial and
Yeah.
Now you should do it.
Plus, waiting every week for an episode of a thing to come out is like agonizing.
yeah,
It is horrible.
yeah. It was 1980. Am I waiting for Cheers to
Right.
come out?
I need to see Roots.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It was when's my new episode of Weeds coming out? I got my HBO hooked back up for this. I want to see Weeds.
Guys, I hope they make The Wire.
Dude, The Wire's so good.
I have never seen it.
It's amazing. You would love it. It's very, 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 very good. But that was a great joke. Thank you.
Isn't it like Isn't it? I heard it described, I think, in something I was listening to earlier today. Like it's a crime drama, but it's not about crime.
Right. It's a very sobered look at like the justice system and the people therein, and it's just like a good drama on its own. But it's you like hear crime drama and you're like, oh, this is gonna be like either like bootlicking or like
Law and Order.
Yeah, right. Or like super like anti, like what do you call that? Anti like authority anything. But it's a very sobered look. It's good. You should watch it. Everyone should watch it. That goes on the Guildies good. You know, on the light side. That's on the light.
On the good, the good side.
The light side.
Yeah, the light. That's on the Horde side. That's on Guildies. Yeah, Guildies Horde side is the Wire's over there. Alliance side, you know, we don't, Marvel movies.
Yeah, Marvel movies is on the Alliance, obviously. Like, thematically fits too. The X-Files is on Horde.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, fucking 1,000. Yeah, Gillian Anderson fucking aging like a fine wine. Horde side.
Immortal.
Horde side, yeah. Immortal fucking angel.
She's the Dark Lady.
Yeah, dude, for
Horde.
sure. Yeah, all right. NGL, I'd fuck Sylvanas. When I was coming up with my note. Hold on. When I was coming up with my notes, I was like, man, I really want like a would you rather thing or like something really stupid about WoW. And I'm like, I'm not gonna, but I'm glad I just said that because I would. Because she's like almost totally preserved, so like.
It's like,
Yeah, but she dead, homie.
Hey, you put a blanket on that though. That might.
but it's like
No.
she just has spiders crawling out of her.
Oh, worse! What the fuck? What in the hell is wrong with you, boy?
Well, she's dead. I don't know what else to tell you.
Spidry vagina.
Now, I'll tell you who's really a banging babe in WoW is Darissa. Yeah, no. Close, actually. Very
Who?
close.
Fuck, Mary, kill, Torrent edition.
Darissa is the first Arcanist of the...
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll get up in there.
Dude.
Damn, is this what we're doing for the back half of this? That's fine.
I have a gamer news thing.
Oh yeah. Go on. Yeah. But hold on. Let's get one more in there. Gamer news.
What's her name?
I'd fuck Tyrande.
I would. I think
I
she'd
want
like
to.
choke you to the point of like death.
That's fine. She can go Night Warrior on me, get her all the crazy black eye thing, and she milking my prostate. We're not even having sex. She's just fucking pegging me.
She's fucking growing vines in you, man.
Yeah, dude. She fucking just I'm fucking, my dick is flying around like a fucking fire hose, comes just going everywhere.
There was a reason she was chosen. There was a reason she was chosen for accuser.
Yeah, true. What'd you say, Bear?
I'd let Valeris Sungina fucking.
Oh
slit my
yeah, she
throat.
dresses like a fucking hoe, bruh.
Same with dude Vanessa Van Cleef as well.
Also, yeah, they're all rogues. They're all like.
Who's that blood elf bitch as well? The paladin.
What a paladin.
Oh, like I think she has like red hair.
Yeah, she's like
I
the.
can't think of.
You know, she's like a Hearthstone like paladin alternate character thing.
Oh, what is her name? This is gonna drive me nuts until I find out now.
Big titty.
She's a general. In on the Horde side, she's the paladin general. She rides a horse.
Oh, that character. She rides a horse.
Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Lady Leandra or Leon.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't sound
yeah.
familiar. But
Look her up.
I believe you.
Yeah, Lady Leandra.
Yeah, I get up in that. And like female troll is looking pretty sexy right about now. Thinking about jacking into that later.
Thinking about that voodoo.
What about you? What about you, Dylan? What character would you?
Yeah, would you?
Take
Okay.
a guess.
Yeah, okay. What was it? Thrall?
There you go.
Nice. Yeah, Thrall's got this like extremely non-orcish looking everything.
Especially like during like WoD onwards, where he goes full on dad mode.
Yeah, it's fucking hot as fuck. I'd fuck Sarfang. He a real one. Fucking, this is gross. Can we just can we take an aside from this aside really quick and just talk about how like they've gotten 3 female character models correct in WoW and none of the other ones? I guess 4. So I guess 5.
You can't go on.
Okay, hold on.
You made me
So female Draenei look normal, female Blood Elves look normal, female Night Elves look normal, female Orcs look normal, and female Trolls look normal enough. Okay?
Is that like?
Oh, go on, Peter.
No, okay.
But like gnome females, something is wrong. Worgen
Tauren.
females, something is wrong. Tauren females, something is extremely wrong.
Yeah, those homies need a.
Goblin females, something is wrong. Dwarf females, something is wrong.
Yeah.
Pandaren females, something. They look like
Very
fucking
wrong.
Mickey Mouse. I don't like it. It fucking.
They look really goofy because it's like the males like they make sense, like kind of how they look, but then the females is just like
It looks
put
like a
the
fucking
panda fur on like a female dwarf body.
Yeah, it looks like that girl in like high school and like your freshman class, and you took art with her, and she drew like really bad anime, like really bad anime takes. That's what her take on a panda looks like. Is like.
In fact, if Cheyenne is listening to this is what you look like, Cheyenne. I remember your name. Fucking.
See, man, that was a great one. I nailed that. That was good. But there's like none of them look good. They're all like so very strange. And like female Colterans, what were you thinking?
Yeah,
what did you think was gonna happen? Or female diaper gnomes, what did you think was gonna happen? That one's even scarier. Yeah, maps get out.
If you play as like a mecha gnome,
You're what?
You're a map.
Yeah, you're a map. Yeah, maps get out. Yeah, map, take your map and get out.
Yeah, we don't need cartographers around here. You fucking.
Yeah. I hate.
We are strictly anti-cartography.
Yeah. This is we're cartographists.
I don't believe in maps.
Yeah.
Don't catch me pressing the M key.
Yeah, fuck the M key. All my homies hate the M key. I'm trying to think what else looks very strange from the female.
I can only imagine the Volperas.
Yeah, they're like sexy. Yeah, the Volpera on their own. I was gonna say problematic.
Be careful with what you say.
The Volpera on their own are like bordering on furry porn. And like I know you joke about that with the Worgen, but Worgen males are like they look like werewolves. Like they're not just like cute and like weirdly proportioned. Like that's how I imagine like a werewolf would look like. I don't know. But the Volpera are like tiny little body with these gigantic long ass arms. And they like look kind of silly to begin with, but Volpera females are just like super hot. Like I don't they're like what I just described, but like super sharp, sleek faces and kind of
to add more to this, I've been googling like the Pandaren females and Tauren females and like looking through. I googled Volpera female, literally like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. On the second row of pictures, there's fucking Volpera porn.
Yeah, I have to imagine that one probably got done pretty quick.
I don't know why the Volpera have abs.
They're a very strangely proportioned race. I'm glad they put them in. This is not an indictment, but
I should level my Volpera. I like Volpera.
Yeah, dude, leveling my Zandalari has been so comfy. Yeah, just getting like an entire another life is unbelievable. I love playing Paladin. Love playing Zandalari Paladin. Maybe I'll make another. Because dude, I wanted to like just race change my Paladin, and I'm like, dude, I'm not paying $25. Am I fucking? Do I have brain damage? Am I the Aspie?
Time.
Yeah, and I have like the money, but. I also just got my stimulus check.
Ooh.
Yeah.
$600.
Yeah, well, it like didn't come. They started sending them out on the 4th. It is 22 days since then. And it's like, here's your direct deposit. But like, nah, keep it. I hate y'all.
I hate y'all.
It's fucking lame. Dylan, what is next on the news agenda?
Just a small segment because I don't think anything more has been revealed. But new Pokemon Snap.
Oh, yeah.
That comes out in April, I'm pretty sure.
I don't play kids games.
Listen, Pokemon Snap is poggers. Have you ever taken a photo of a surfing Pikachu? I don't think so.
Yeah, that's damn. Dylan's playing fucking hardball with you, Tardo. What are you gonna do?
Get fucked.
I wonder how. I feel like that's a weird one for Nintendo to do. Because I feel like it just. We have great memories of it, but I feel like it didn't. This seems like a bad idea.
So the thing which scares me, like it'll hurt my wallet, but I'm a slave to consuming product. But like, because the thing is, like Pokemon Snap, it's like a fun like little novelty, but it's like if you pay $60 for it, that feels bad. Like if it was like 20 or whatever, like it'd be maybe worth that experience. Because like I think like it's still like fun like to go back to, and if like they add like a bit more mechanics like to it and not just point the camera directly at the Pokemon, otherwise it's a bad picture. Like if they improved upon it, plus it's not an in-house like Game Freak, it's Bandai Namco, so as long as it's not the main fucking Pokemon devs who've been blowing it consistently now,
Also true.
then you know it could be good. Bandai Namco's put out some decent stuff.
Yeah, dude. Budokai 3 was Bandai Namco. And then
Yep.
Yeah.
now
And
I can't wait to
that was
roll around and level up my character in Pokemon Snap. Dude, it's gonna be so sweet.
yeah, just taking pictures of Pokemon.
Uh,
Is it gonna be full price?
I think so, which is the scary part.
Dude, that's insane. I saw that they have a big cheating problem in Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Do they?
Yeah, and
Who
apparently.
cheated a Pokemon game?
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Like they apparently are cracking down on it, which, I
I don't know.
Big time for our players.
yeah my Pokemon anti cheat, my anti
Right.
Pika.
Yeah, well, I think that was a thing for the 3DS ones. A lot of people would use hacked like Pokemon, but I don't
just,
think they would
broken
like
stats and-
do like completely like insane shit of like giving Slowpoke Draco Meteor or something like that. Like it's not like
Right.
insane shit.
It's just so silly. That's like such a silly idea to me. Like the game is
Right.
already got.
You gotta
like
preserve the integrity of the Pokemon
the
competitive
integrity
scene.
of the Pokemon's esports team.
Who's giving all these toddlers cheat codes?
They're downloading them off of Roblox and then they're
Shit.
You know,
adding them to their
it's
Switch.
oh shit. That's a weird thing to me that like not that into because in high school I still liked Pokemon. Like I bought Black and White when I was in like 10th or 11th grade and liked it a lot. I played a lot of the online. I did a bunch of the Battle Tower. I really sunk a lot of time into it. But it's kind of weird to me that like into like young adulthood that people are still really into that kind of bad gameplay loop. Because that's where I have fallen. I like the idea of it and I like the randomizers that I've been playing, but like playing Pokemon at normal speed, which is grueling, into a finite game that you are holding, that whatever progress you make probably won't get carried over to the next one, is really frustrating to me. And it just feels like I'm just spinning my wheels for like kind of a shitty payoff. And I just don't see where the appeal is in adulthood for me.
I think it's not quite that bad as it sounds, because like I've been playing like Leaf Green, like I just got it on original hardware.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's kind of like a pain in the ass and like tedious to do like have to do Switch training.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked it up and like most of the game is gonna be that, and I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. But like at times, like it kind of depends on like the game and your party setup and how much grinding you have to do. But
Sure.
yeah, like once you play like a JRPG like with a built-in or emulator speed up function, it makes them very good to play.
Right.
Because the thing I was trying to think about it like in general recently of like how do you reconcile grinding in like a JRPG, because like it's not necessarily a problem with the combat systems, because it's like the boss fights are like the best part of the games and it's like you really have to know the mechanics well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you don't get any of that satisfaction from like a random encounter where if you're just mashing hitting it like
Right.
attack for every character or just auto battling it, it's like, well, you're not really practicing the mechanics. And it's like something that kind of sucks when playing like a Persona or Shin Megami Tensei game is like I don't want to have to think that hard for a random battle.
Right.
Because like if you're like auto battle, all of a sudden they'll go, what if I just cast a spell on your entire party, hit a weakness, get a second turn, and then wipe your whole party, like while you're just trying to go through random battles, and it's like that just feels really shitty.
Yeah, well, and And I guess my thing, and I think maybe me and you talked about this one night. I remember doing this while I was questing in the Tannin Jungle. That's weird that there are like discussions that I've had with people that I'm like, I was questing in the
Like, you
Ashen
know
Vale,
exactly
or I
where
was
you were.
yeah, dude, seriously, it was the. I'm not even gonna talk about it. I am gonna talk about it. It's that part in Draenor where you flood that like valley part after you get through the cave in the intro sequence. You just did it, Dylan.
I'd have to think
That's
about
okay.
it.
That's okay.
Anyway,
That's okay, Pogbert. But in my mind, WoW has got the perfect grind to it because Mike, my warrior that I had from when I was like literally like 11, I still have, and I still have the transmogs from that when they put transmogs in. I still have a lot of that old stuff. So I've been able to carry all the grinding and shitty stuff that I did when it was like near classic pain levels of leveling to now. And I still have that. Whereas like, I don't remember what my Pokemon party was in Emerald. And like,
Well,
I don't have that Emerald, and I don't have any of that progress still.
that's kind of an apples and oranges thing. Because, like, one that's like, there's like so many Pokemon, like, and I don't know, like, plus multiple playthroughs, and you swap things in and out. Whereas WoW, you're like consistently on one character. Because it's like if you play like a Final Fantasy or something, you'll probably remember like using certain characters like more
Right.
than others, or
But
the story beats. And plus, the thing with the time investment thing too is like these are like 40-hour games, so it's not like you're like doing a whole bunch of grinding for like a 5-hour experience or anything.
right. But my point with that is like this Paladin I'm doing. I've spent Bear, when did I message you and tell you I got my Paladin? It was like last week, right? Like last Monday, maybe.
I'm pretty sure.
The only WoW I've played this week is that. I've probably played. I can tell you here in just a second how many hours I have on it. But I've probably got 20 or 30 hours this week in playing WoW and this character. For me, the payoff for that grind, which is not as tedious in my opinion, is I get to play PvP, I get to do mod collecting, I get to do all this endgame stuff where like the grind to finish Pokemon or a JRPG is that I no longer get to play the game. The payoff. Is like I did all this grinding. Now I'm done grinding and the game's just done. The game's just this gigantic hamster wheel, and getting off the hamster wheel is the best part about the game.
Yeah, well, at the same time, it's not like you're grinding for, depending on the game, like hours and hours and hours.
Sure.
Like, you might spend like a half an hour when you need it. Because like a lot of the games, if you go back and play a lot of them, you really don't need to grind in a lot of them.
Right.
It's only like Pokemon, you just have to for the older ones, which that feels bad. But for like a lot of other JRPGs, it's not as much of a problem. But some of them are also built around you are expected to grind immediately, like Dragon Quest, and that is like a problem.
There are a lot of problems with a lot of JRPGs like that, and that's one of the things I liked about Fire Emblem, the like tile base, I don't know what you call it, what that medium
strategy
is.
RPG.
Yeah, strategy JRPG PG. It was kind of broke it up. It was like actual combat stuff. So, do you fellas have anything else?
I just wanted to add too that like Final Fantasy Tactics also gets around that thing because it's also a strategy RPG. Because where most of the fights, like I don't think are like random battles. Like it's all just like story encounters that have like boss fights and stuff. Because then it's like the best parts. Like if you could have like a JRPG where it's mainly just boss fights, like that's the most engaging and best part. It's just like the random battles. It's like you might see a neat monster once in a while, but otherwise it's just kind of brainless.
Yeah. Can't wait to play more JRPGs. I love them so much.
Oh boy.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play any. Is Pokemon considered a JRPG?
Yeah.
pocket monsters? There's not like a different term for what that can of worms is? Can of wormples?
It's still a
That was a really
JRPG,
good one. Okay.
just a very like simplified one.
I wanted to like Temtem, and I haven't played it yet, but I've heard only bad things about it.
Problem is, I don't want to play Temtem because it's like I already have affection for the Pokemon and how they're designed, and like I don't for Temtem, because it's like I don't know if I could put up with a Pokemon system that doesn't have as much like flavor and goodwill built up as Pokemon does.
That goodwill one is important.
Because it's like, because the thing of like why Pokemon's so successful, it's like, well, I don't just like the games. I like the show, the trading cards, the toys, the plushies. Like it's like the multimedia franchise thing.
Bear, do you like Pokemon? Did you ever like Pokemon?
It's never been a big thing, and like at most, I think like there's like 1 or 2 Pokemon I think are cool, but just, I don't really follow
Never
it
been.
at all.
Never. But what did you play when you were like a kid? Then, like, what was you? Because, dude, like, I loved Pokemon so much. Like, I played Emerald.
He just played Ty the Tasmanian Tiger.
True.
Yeah, he played the Dominoes Avoid the Noid game.
Ooh.
Yo,
Noid.
Well, what age do you think when you like think you like I'd probably start playing games? Is that it?
When I had like an idea of what was going on, probably like 4th grade on.
Well,
what's 4th grade in America?
I'm sorry.
Like 10.
Like
9, 10.
9 or
10?
years old.
Yeah.
Dude, even then, I wasn't really. I got in like. I didn't get like internet, and like I didn't realize the world of the internet and video games proper to like early high school. But I was like around that time. I was just playing some of the earlier stuff like MechWarrior and stuff. I wasn't really much into like the whole.
I had MechWarrior Lone Wolf.
Yeah, that's the
dude.
one. That's
nice.
Yeah. That and like some of like the earlier, like just some of like the shittier earlier like Xbox games and stuff. Like
they were bad. There were some bad ones.
Yeah, I never played a lot of like Pokemon and Final Fantasy and stuff like that. So it's never occurred to me.
I like Dragon Ball Z too. That was another one I was
that's
super
pretty
into.
bad. That's pretty lame as well.
Z, yeah, you're correct. Like if I got introduced to Z now, I would probably think it's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
I definitely think that's like a Stockholm syndrome that Akira Toriyama got me into. Like I think
same thing.
I don't
like. It's not one of my favorite things, but Yu-Gi-Oh has that goodwill too.
Ooh, I tried to get into Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, and I could never.
Like the card game is very bad, and the story is like not there. But I don't know. I still like watching the show. It's fun for what it is.
Yeah, it's very funny. It's like it's not funny in a good way.
But it's like just the drama of a children's card game being a life and death thing, and that you have an entire society based around a children's card game.
Yeah, dude. Like, what if we had what if our society was based on like solitaire? Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like, my grandma's the president.
It's true.
Actually, she's not, because she just died. But
honorary president.
Yeah, she's posthumously president. Posthumous solitaire president. Rest in peace, Nana. That's not good. I should die. Do you guys have anything else to add?
I was gonna mention this a bit after the whole discussion about Elder Scrolls Netflix, but did you guys see the Resident Evil Netflix trailer?
Oh God, no! What?
I saw pictures which look neat, but I mean that doesn't say much about the show.
There's an actual teaser.
Is it? It's not. What's her name?
Oh, is it a?
I think this is like a.
I was gonna say it's an animated thing.
This
not
is
a
an
live
Oh,
animated
action.
one?
dude, nice.
But I'm pretty sure a new one is coming out.
No.
I've seen
hold on.
pictures of like a live action like Spencer Mansion like pictures.
Is
Here we go. Here we go.
the
So
bitch the
I'll tell you the plot. The story takes place over two timelines. The first of which involves the 14-year-old sisters of Jade and Billy Wesker moving to a new Raccoon City. They come to realize their father may be concealing dark secrets that could destroy the world. The second timeline takes place over a decade in the future, where only 15 million humans remain, with over 6 billion animals and people being infected with a T virus. It follows Jade, now 30, in her efforts to survive this world. So. It's to be announced at the moment, but yep.
that Infinite Darkness one, is that what you just said?
That's like some animated one coming to Netflix, but there's like an actual like real life show coming
Kind
to
of
Netflix.
a interesting casting choice for Wesker, which is Tom Hopper, who is in the Umbrella Academy.
Tom Hopper.
Oh, dude, this animated one looks amazing.
Like, I mean, maybe with enough makeup, he could be a Wesker, but
I imagine if he like blondes up his hair and maybe I don't know.
I don't know if I can picture him going Chris.
But also, yeah, that animated one looks like. I didn't realize Claire was in it.
Yeah, did you guys ever watch they made 2 animated movies with Leon in them?
I think I can.
Resident Evil Degeneration and Resident Evil Regeneration.
I know about them, but I haven't
Stupid
watched
names.
They were very good for what they were.
them. Yeah.
I'm very excited for this animated one. I feel like they should have done that all along. And also, I think it was a mistake not to use more of Leon. Leon got put into an IRL one that didn't feature, what's the woman's name?
Ada?
No, not Ada.
Who?
the Mary Sue fucking bitch who plays.
Oh, are you talking about the current Resident Evil fucking joke movies? Mila Malkovich or whatever her name is.
God damn, I'm so upset. Yeah, she goes on the Alliance side. No, none of that.
Yeah,
from me, buddy.
Mila Djokovic. She's the guy that bangs the director.
Yes, and then has been casted for literally 8 of those movies. Leon,
and every role she sucks dick in.
Leon got cast in the 5th one, I think, but he's played by like Sean Bean. I'm like dead serious. It's like he's wearing that like jacket that he has
Resident Evil
in 4.
Retribution.
Yeah, that one. He's got like the jacket that he's got on, like the fur one, except he's fucking jacked as fuck and has this like a ton of scruff and shit, and they like just barely tried to do his hair like he has it, and I'm like,
yeah, I gotta.
It needs to go in the thumbnail.
Holy.
Yeah,
fuck,
hold on.
dude.
Yeah, it's Resident Evil Retribution?
Yeah, Resident Evil Retribution.
Yeah.
He dies in the movie, doesn't he? Which is fucking wild, by the way.
Actually, dude, Sean Bean, but it actually kind of looks like PewDiePie.
PewDiePie!
Dude, it does! Hold on. I'm putting it in the podcast channel so I don't fuck up the video, but... It's fucking PewDiePie as Leon.
PewDiePie! Dude, what the fuck? Oh, and then they had Chris, remember? In like one of the
yeah, they had like the whole gang's all here. But I just feel like that's a franchise that like, how could you not get it together? The games made a fucking killing.
They must have at one point when like, we're not doing the right thing by the games, let's just take it in our own direction. Like, it's because that's so bad.
Yeah, the games just fucking print money. They have always printed money. Resident Evil 4 made a fucking killing.
Yeah, even like now, like a lot of people are going back, like survival horror, like people are really down to clown with it, and just horror shit in general. Like, how did they see all the YouTube screamers? Like, just and seeing all the horror shit that they were playing and be like,
Well,
maybe we should not release a scary Resident Evil.
Yeah, well, yeah, and like then also people love a character that they like. Like I know what I said sounds like I have brain damage, but like I don't care about Chris Redfield. I don't care that he was in the games before. Leon is a better, more like a much more compelling character, and you see him go through way more than fucking Cuck Redfield does. Okay? Why would you not just make the next game about Leon? But they didn't. Let's go to Africa. Hope we don't do anything that's
My blood the rain.
tone. Yeah, yeah, dude, for sure. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's. Hope we don't do anything tone deaf while we're there, because that'd be bad.
What if we put
Yeah.
a white man as our lead, and then all the zombies are Africans?
Yeah.
There are no
Yeah.
complicated real-world racial politics involved in this at
Yeah,
all.
yeah. Brought to you by Capcom USA, gang. That's the worst part, is that like that was put together by the U.S. office.
Well, it was, I think, worse before, and then like I forgot. It was
I can't
somebody
imagine
else.
it being worse.
No, I don't remember what it was. I'll have to like send you what I was like listening to, but I want to say that like they added Sheva. They wanted to do a co-op thing from the start, but I think they made the partner Sheva in response to the feedback they were getting from like the US office, who was like, maybe you shouldn't do this way. But that's for our Resident Evil 5 episode.
Resident Evil 5 episode. Do you guys want to do Resident Evil 4?
Yeah. We just bought it for the. We can.
Dylan, how fast can you get it done?
We'll shoot for end of February, and hopefully that'll be enough time. Which it should be. I don't see why.
Yeah, I don't see how it couldn't be. The game is seriously.
Are you a grandma? Like,
listen, I come home and I immediately go sleepo.
It's true. You gonna be on Wednesday and Thursday?
Yep.
We'll play some Apex. When's the season drop?
February 2nd.
Ooh, it's coming up. I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing Apex. You know, that's one I'll put here on the books. I've had a good time playing Apex. I think it's the BR that's going to survive the longest. Which probably won't be long, because I think the medium is. I think BRs are done. I think 2022, 2023, there's going to be a new hot thing.
It'll go the way of auto-tune remixes of the news.
Dude. Yeah, auto-tune the news. The Charlie Sheen, Shmoyo.
Shmoyo-ho.
Yeah.
It'll go the way of every game being a zombie game for 5 years.
Yep, that did happen. You know, it's interesting, and I just can't help but talk about WoW. I think it's crazy that there are games being made that are MMOs that are like, this is going to kill WoW. Like the genre is not like face down in the river.
Yeah, it's dying. Like, it only exists because of like WoW and Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
And to an extent Guild Wars 2. But other than that, this genre, it's plummeting. There aren't going to be more.
Yeah, like there are new people who come into WoW, which is fine. I'm not saying it should just be an insular community. But I don't, and there are a lot of new people. There is, Shadowlands was huge for it. It had the biggest pre-patch sub count of any X-Pack. And I think it did really well for the actual, here, let's see. Oh my god, okay. Blizzard Entertainment announces the first full day of Shadowlands launch, 3.7 million units had sold through globally. The fastest selling PC game of all time industry wide.
Ooh.
Wow. Yeah, WoW's dying. BTW.
Yeah, bro. Blizzard doesn't release their player counts anymore. They're dying.
Man, that's such a fucking lame ass. Like, gotcha. Like Final Fantasy 14, please don't bully me or I will get your house firebombed. Like response. I hate that.
Yeah.
And not because I'm WoW apologist. I know the game
Well,
is bad.
Well, now
Yeah,
it's like people got what they wanted. Like you have people who want to play a fun game and people who want to play classic WoW. And now the Blizzard has both of those people subscribing to their game and playing. So
Yeah, honestly, I saw someone who was like, that was such a scummy thing to do, blah blah blah, and it's like Blizzard, and they're like, they're just Chinese, they hate blah blah blah, they're just in it for the money. It's like they did the exact thing that Reddit never gets. Reddit likes to cry and piss and moan. Hey, listen, hey Reddit, fuck you. We're back on this, okay? Shitter. They want something and they cry and piss and moan and then they get it and then they realize they don't want it. Like classic WoW is not doing well right now. Like I'm gonna put that one on the books and everyone can dogpile me. It's not doing well, especially when there's like total horde dominance on a server and people are just leaving in droves. Like it's not. It is doing exactly like it was in classic. Like when it first came out, like except you don't have like this starry-eyed stuff to like wonder what else is in there in the game in this big world. You just have this shitty, busted-ass game, the same one that you had in 2005, and you got what you wanted. And now all the people who told me they were going to play so much classic WoW, oh, Hayden, you don't even realize, man, like this is going to do it, bro. This retail sucks, bro. Retail rating, more like retail schmading. And I'm like, dude, you are so fucking stupid. They're like, nah, bro, I'm gonna play mage, dude. Frostbolt. Frostbolt, dude. Okay, none of them play it. How many people you know who said they were gonna play classic WoW are playing classic WoW right now?
none of them.
Not a
I know a few
single
people
soul.
that are like said they were gonna play it and not playing it.
I think we know some of the same people, Bear. There's something to that. Not a single one, and there were a ton of them, because the game was bad then. The game's bad now, the game was badderer then, okay? But Reddit got what it wanted. It's like the perfect poetic justice that evil Chinese Activision Blizzard dished out. They were like, okay, here's this this version of the game we've been sitting on for 15 years. I guess we'll put some servers back up for it. Give me $15 now.
Dora.
And they just did. They just dunked on him.
Have fun with your dumbed down game.
Yeah, dumb.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna just apply buffs and auto attack for 50 hours.
Yeah, and you know what? We talked about this. Me and Dildor did. Bear, I don't think you were there. It was probably during normal people awake hours, and that was
Yeah, you keep saying that.
Yeah, the human hours, not
Yeah.
Australian hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, you keep
not
saying
Scorpion hours. Yeah, but yeah, listen, you could just say Scorpion and like everything's cool. You're like, yeah, this is me. This is me, Scorpion time zone, and me.
You could be Crocodile Dundee,
Yeah.
but you choose not to.
Yeah, me, Scorpion penis.
I never say what you're gonna say, you fucking.
Anyways, Paladin had like no offensive abilities in Classic. Like Retribution Paladin had nothing. You auto attacked and had buffs. That was Ret Paladin.
Like, we're not exaggerating.
You
like,
had
that's
auto
literally
attack.
You were brought to raids. You weren't tanking. You'd be brought for just the buffs, and that's it.
And then you would just auto attack. No, dude, you like. And they're like,
And
yeah, dude, it was just a richer game and had skill trees. It doesn't matter if there's skill trees if I can't attack.
And also, Horde, it's their faction exclusive classes. Only Alliance could be Paladin, and only Horde could be Shaman. Which
is terrifying.
pretty bad.
I guess I wouldn't mind that if the game was in a at all decent state at the time, but like Paladin was just worse. Like, and I love the idea that there were Alliance players that are like, I can't make it. I'm playing Paladin and it's not viable in any content. Like, yeah, it brings me great joy to think about Alliance players crying, tears in their eyes.
Loktar.
Loktar Ogar.
Loktar by Bozak.
Hey, listen, yeah. Baladesh Melanore.
No.
So, anyways, hey, glory to the Sunwell.
Musumwell.
Remember the Sindora.
Yeah, true. Anyways, not that doesn't bring me great joy, because it does. It warms my soul. But the game was just super fucked. The game is, if you think the game is fucked now, the game was so way fucked back then.
Who the fuck?
And it didn't matter that there were skill trees, dude. Who gives a fuck? Because there was still... Here's the difference between now and then. Now, in one class, different specs are viable for different things. But there are some that were viable. Maybe Survival Hunter's not good at anything. Maybe we just forget about him. And maybe Outlaw Rogue gets destroyed every other patch. And maybe... maybe Feral's not good in PvE. But every class was viable. In Classic WoW, there are classes that were simply not at all viable.
Plus, the talent trees are just a lot more boring, because it's like some of the talents were cool. Like, I remember Fire Mage had one, like, you could cast Scorch while moving, which is, like, pretty neat added mobility for Mage.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the others were like, all shadow damage spells do 1% more damage. And it's like, thanks. This feels really good.
I'm min-maxing.
Right, like, I can feel the difference, except not at all. Like, yeah, there was a cool concept, but because, like, you're expecting it to be neat, like a Diablo 2 skill tree or something, but then it was just, like, just really shitty, like, minor stat modifications, but it's the meta build that you copied off of Wowhead, so you have to choose it even though it doesn't play any different.
Yeah, dude, it's the exact... And that is the one that gets me. You are still copying builds off of fucking Icy Veins. Just like you did in 2007. Exact same thing. So who gives a shit if there's 1,000 skill trees? You don't use any of them, which was the reason that they brought it down to the way it is now. And they're like, oh, no, dude. I
it's
used
the dumbing down.
Yeah, I used, double... what's the mobility ability for Paladin? Is it Crusader? What is it called?
Horse run fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Divine Steed.
Divine Steed. Yeah, I use the talent that gives me 3 Divine Steed charges. Why? It's not viable for PvP. It's not viable for PvE. What are you using it for? Yeah, dude, I'm just creative. It's just deeper. Okay.
Really is.
Okay. Whatever you say, Jim.
Jim from The Office. Funny Jim look at camera.
Yeah, dude. Fuck Jim. Okay, we should stop this before it becomes too much of a...
shit.
Well, go on.
No. I'm dying in World of Warcraft. Ignore me.
Oh.
Okay. That's why we've been playing World of Warcraft.
We ain't supposed to play the games while we're doing the show.
Well, you didn't know it till now. It didn't make a difference.
I did, actually, because I can see it in the online thing in the top right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean...
And it didn't become a problem till now.
Okay, well, that concludes this episode of Guildies. Let us know if you liked it. Leave a tell us. Leave a comment. I respond to all the comments
below.
No,
and we'll,
no.
Tell us if we should do a more "Oops All Shit" posts episode.
Yeah, right. Listen,
so far,
leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a comment. I try to respond or at least like all your comments. So if you get some kind
don't
of like,
share it on Reddit, please.
Yeah, if you get some kind of like dopamine rush from like a channel liking your comment. I've liked every comment that's showed up.
That is true.
Guildies. So, yeah, let us know what you think. We will probably do another news segment. Probably maybe next time or the time after that. We're gonna try and split up our schedule.
I think we should do it like at least have an episode in between the news ones.
Right. That's No. But I was saying we should have like done it on the first week and not the last week.
Well,
but that's fine. Listen, that's fine.
True.
That's fine. Yeah, so next week, I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe we'll talk about Resident Evil. Maybe we'll talk about
JRPGs. Well, no, we'll talk about grand strategy games like Europa Universalis, everyone's favorite kind of game.
Yeah, we'll talk about Crusader Kings too. Oh my god, do you guys like? Do you guys know who Fist Thistlewitz is?
Nope.
He was a really great YouTuber back when I was in like college. But he's got a really great video, and they were just like shitpost videos. But he's like, Crusader Kings 2 is interesting in that it is not fun at all. And I think about it all the time. I like Crusader Kings 2, but I think about that all the time. Okay, you folks have a great night.